Hi, I just received a DP project for a new record I'm going to mix. Upon just inspecting the first track, I noticed that some of this stuff has been recorded not extremely hot, just overly, completely, ridiculously hot. So let's look at this conga track here. If we zoom in here, we will see this is clipping. Let's see those sound, see, clipping like nobody's business. Let's just listen to it. So you hear that deep conga is distorting as expected when you look at these. Okay, what are we going to do? Of course I could send it back to the talent and ask them to retrack it. Maybe that's not an option. So how can I repair it? Now, even though it's clipping on more than just the low conga, but you hear the distortion definitely on the low conga. So what I'm going to do is trying to fix just that low conga. And here's what I'm going to do. So first, we have one of them right there. So let's just put this, make a selection here, set selection to bound, and make it repeat here. Perfect. Might want to have a little bit more, because what I'm going to do, let's just take a little bit more. So we have almost a full phrase here. What I'm going to do, first thing, I want to insert a gate, and the gate I'm going to use is the fabfilter gate. This is just an amazing gate. It works extremely well. Let's just play the thing, and we'll see it's so ridiculously hot that we have to set our threshold all the way up at almost 0 dB. Ratio, we'll set that to as much as possible. We'll dog it down the way. We will have insanely fast attack. Won't have much release. Don't want to have much hold either. Let's just look ahead a little bit. So we can hear the gate is definitely working now. However, we're still getting the high part of the congas. So let's use the filter here. There you hear, I just get the affected part here. I can still slightly hear some of the others. I don't care so much about them right now. So let's just... So this is fantastic. So I got that downbeat isolated. Next thing I will do is I'll go for MOTU trigger. Set it to real time. We'll do as fast trigger as possible. Now the trigger won't be completely on beat because we will have some latency going on here. However, it's okay. We can just move it afterwards. Threshold, I don't care about the threshold. Re-trigger delay, I think that's fine. I know I'm going to use, to replace the sound, I'm going to use Toontrack EZ Drummer, the Latin Percussion. And I know the low right-hand conga and the right-hand slap with the conga is on G6. What we're going to do, we're going to make trigger print a MIDI note G6 every time we have a slap that's distorted here. So we got that set up. Let's see, it goes to G6, that's fine. And just before we do it, I'll also change the time unit of the MIDI. Just set it to real time, just go to 10, that's fine, as short as possible. So we make sure the MIDI track is armed. Let's go to sequence so we can see what's going on. Roll back down, and now we will record and we will see the MIDI notes being made. It's up here by C6, so we'll just scroll up a little bit. So here's the G6 that's supposed to be printed, and let's go. Now you'll see there's still some bleed, as I said, with the gate, so there's more being triggered, but we'll deal with that later. So they're all done. Okay. Now let's go back to the beginning and let's find the first. So we can see there's definitely an offset because of the latency. I'm running a very high buffer here of 3072. So that was expected that I would have some latency going on here. Now let's just look at the MIDI track and let's zoom in on it. There's one. Let's zoom out a little bit. Now see, there's two different colors here. Let's click on the first one to get the information here. See, interestingly enough, actually the beat I'm looking for only have an on velocity of 1, and the two ghost notes or the two bleed throughs from the left conga and the high pitched one is actually coming in as a on velocity of 126. This is good because I'm going to remove them, of course. We only want to trigger the low conga. So how do I remove them? We'll simply just go to search. We'll do a new search. The time, we'll set that to all time. And we'll set notes with an on velocity in the range of, so those extra notes had a very high velocity, on velocity of 126. So let's just set the on velocity between 90 and 127. Search. We encountered an error because they must be within range. I made a typo. 127. And search. Close the search. You see these have been selected, so when I hit delete, they're gone. Perfect. Now let's go back to the sequence editor and find, so here's, I guess, let's zoom in. And that's the first, and let's just make sure that's the first one of them. Sounds like it. Let's just go back to trigger, bypass, the gate, bypass. Let's go sequence. Absolutely, there it is. Perfect. So now we want to move all these up so they align with the beat. So let's just deselect that track. So we only see the MIDI information. Let's do a select all. Go back, get the MIDI track. And move these closer. Let's zoom in. Let's see something starting around there. So let's move this all the way up here. Let's go back here, MIDI. Let's select all. Let's change velocity. So we will set all on velocities. Let's set them to 125. Apply. Let's just see that it did it. 125. Confirmed. So let's go back here. Then we need, let's take this out of record. We already did it. So let's add an instrument track, and we'll use Toontrack EZ Drummer. And the Latin Percussion. And there's the, let's just see the details. Right open G6. what I need to do is, of course, we need to have these two congas tuned. I will take the one we're replacing, pan that hard left, pan EZ Drummer hard right, take it down because this was again seriously hot. Let's go back here and make a time selection, set selection to bounce, set the cycle. Cool, so we're hearing the track we need to route the MIDI to EZ Drummer. Let's listen again. We can hear there's definitely a pitch issue, so let's look at EZ Drummer. So let's check it again. Let's pitch it down a little bit. Let's go back. Still too high. We're getting closer. So that sounds about there. What I'm going to do next is we will try it out how it actually will blend. So let's go in here, select this part. This is up to the next where the high part comes in, and we can hear it's distorted, of course. And let's just cut that, mute it, and just to make sure, let's take it out of cycle. Let's make sure, just to make it that we don't get any clicks, let's do a crossfade. Do the crossfade, so we should be fine. Now let's zoom out. Do a time-based selection here, so we have a little bit more to listen to. Set these selections to bounce. Let's cycle here. And let's get this in center. Now there's a little bit too much reverb on the EZ Drummer, but that's something that we will have to take down in the mixer here. So let's take the reverb down. So now, of course, I have to go through every beat here and find the next one. Let's get some real estate. So that will be my edit point for the in. Find that, looks like that's the second beat coming in there. So let's set that in. Just mute this. Let's zoom out. Let's just play here. And there you go. I just have to do the rest of them, but at least I have something that's tolerable to work with, because that low-end conga distortion didn't work, so that's how I fixed it.